Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And we're going to tell you about our October monthly favorites.
Yeah.
Yay! Different video, different content. We thought, why not? So basically, we're going to start having this series of videos at the end of each month, basically reviewing our favorites, various favorite things for the month. So we're going to start off with our favorite trailer. Dustin, what was your favorite trailer of October?
This one was a little tough.
I should cover my answers so you don't copy.
Oh, copy? Well, I've already got my answers written down.
Whatever.
On my cool Darth Vader notepad.
That is pretty cool.
There was...
I have Hello Kitty.
I'd have to go with the Logan trailer because the way that I felt when you, at the end of that trailer, you really knew what the movie was going for, and it just made you feel kind of beaten down, just like Logan was.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing it because of the great reaction that it gave you when you saw it.
My choice is the same as yours. It's the Logan trailer. Everything you said, from the song, which has been stuck in my head for days now since I've seen the trailer, to just how, like you said, emotionally how it got me, and also knowing that this is the last one for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and where they're going to go with this franchise, who they're going to cast next. There's so many questions where the story's going to go. It's very nitty-gritty, this trailer, so definitely got me excited to see this movie next March. Our next question is our favorite TV show or episode in October. Disclaimer, Dustin and I don't have cable. We decided to just not pay for it, so we either stream or we are at the mercy of something like Hulu. We don't even have like HBO now. So
Yeah.
with that said, I feel like I was rewatching a lot of like the older shows. So I'm just trying to stay current. And one of my favorite shows came back in the fall. And it's a sitcom. It's Fresh Off the Boat, season 3. And the first episode is Eddie Huang and his family goes back to Taiwan. If you guys watch Movie Talk, you know that I talked about being from Taiwan, and actually it looks like they shot the episode in Taiwan, so it made me really homesick, and I love that.
I remember the reaction that you had when you were seeing it. You're like, oh, home.
They're in Taiwan. I was like, that's what it actually really looks like. So if they just like built it on a set or a soundstage, I mean that like looks legit.
I'm pretty sure that they shot it there.
Positive that they went home. Okay, what about you?
Well, for me, I liked watching the new episodes of Lucifer. I like the character. I think he's a really fun character to watch. And I recently also found out that Lucifer is actually a DC comic.
Yeah, I said in the
I
show
didn't even know
description that it's like a comic book character. I was like, oh, I kind of want to go and pick up a copy now just to see how dark they get, because for a show, I think it's on Fox, I don't think it gets it. You know, they keep it pretty PG.
Yeah, it's almost a little sitcom-ish. But it's very dark. It's like they took something really dark and were like, oh, let's make it so we can appeal it to a broader audience. And I just really happen to like the characters that they have in there. What do you think about some of the apps that you've been using this month?
Favorite app of October, for me, it's going to be a little app called Quest. Basically, it's like a to-do list, but they make it in the format of a game. So it's like this little 8-bit graphic, and you make your lists.
I think I heard something about that.
And then you have a little monster, and you swipe right when you completed the task, or you swipe left to delete, and when you complete, you can collect like a little gem, and that gem gets added to your bank, and when you fill up that bar of gem, you get a new item. So you kind of, in a way, it's kind of like a game, like you're leveling up your character as you kill off your, to-do list of to-dos. And I know it's silly, and I can just use like the reminder app that came with the iPhone, but when you put like a list of chores in the form of a game, I just want to do it more.
No, it makes sense. A book that I read, Reality's Broken, talked about that, was turning chores into games. And I didn't know you played that. I think...
Played? Well, it's not really...
It's kind of a play thing, but it makes you want to do your chores more.
I just want to collect new outfits for my character.
And you can only do that by finishing off your chores. Oh, that's awesome. I should get that.
It's not really chores, like list of to-dos. Because I have like a shopping list, to-do list.
Oh.
What to edit. Like you can have different categories and everything. It's pretty cool.
The app that I was actually starting to use a lot in October is Audible. Oh. And I started reading some of the Star Wars books on there. And I love being able to listen to these books on my way to work. Because I have like a 35, 40-minute drive to work every single shift. So it's cool because I'm able to go through a couple books a month almost because of how much I'm driving.
Well, it's funny that you're mentioning Audible because our next topic is our favorite book of October. So I'll go ahead and start. And you guys, I love books, but I've, since the release of Kindle, had to purchase books on Kindle instead of hard copy books because I've ran out of room even after donating a lot of books. And it's just, we're in an apartment, we don't have a house, and it's just, they pile up with all of the Harry Potters and the Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time books. So I've been listening to this book on Audible, and it's the Ahsoka book. It's by E.K. Johnston and narrated by Ashley Eckstein, who is the voice of Ahsoka. And when I heard a sample of the audiobook, there was no doubt in my mind that I needed to purchase the audiobook anyways. And so far, the book has been great. It basically, if you watch Clone Wars, you know what happens to Ahsoka at the end of Clone Wars, and from there, it recounts what happens to her well, I actually haven't quite finished it. I'm almost there. I have like one chapter left, but I'm assuming it leads up to Rebels.
The book that I loved, and I'm almost done with it, so I might change my mind at the end because the ending might be terrible. But I got into Bloodlines.
That's the Leia book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it is written so well, and to hear this story that takes place maybe just a few years before Rogue One, and kind of getting the idea and the feel and the background now. I'm not Rogue One, Episode 7. So it's really cool to see how the Republic was formed, and it was just a really cool book.
So we spend a hell of a lot of time on YouTube looking at videos all day, every day. So, Dustin, what is your favorite YouTube video for October?
For October, actually, I was getting into a lot of different YouTube channels today. Mm-hmm. I stumbled upon one that was called the Stupendous Wave.
Stupendous.
And he actually has this whole series on like the history of Star Wars.
Oh,
so
cool.
Like who were the very first Jedi?
Wow.
And who was the first the first Jedi that Darth Vader killed with his lightsaber?
Wow.
And the series is called Star Wars Explained. And there's just all of these really cool stories and backgrounds on Star Wars. And I was starting to just binge watch a whole bunch of them. I just thought those were the ones that I kind of got hooked on this month.
That sounds interesting. I think that's an interesting name for a YouTube channel. That
the
talks
Stupendous
about
Wave?
Yeah. Wave? Stupendous.
Yeah, Stupendous Wave.
Interesting. Oh, autofocus. All right. Well, my favorite video, it's not a channel or a series, it's a video, and I feel like you guys are going to be slightly disappointed with my choice because I feel like it's so typical and it's so freaking basic, but whatever. It's a guilty pleasure. I enjoyed it. It's the Carpool Karaoke with Lady Gaga. I said it. I've been watching American Horror Story Hotel on Netflix. Now that it's on Netflix, I can finally binge it. I think she's been doing great as the Countess on the show, and then it popped up on my videos you might be interested in. Carpool Karaoke with Lady Gaga, and I was like, oh, click on it. And then I loved it, and I watched it twice, and I think I made him watch it.
She's like, come over, you gotta watch this.
She's great.
She has such great chemistry on camera. Either
she's
on
just
the
always
episodes,
on.
Yeah,
she's just always on, and I kind of like that. She's doing more than just singing and performing and just being on TV and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Now, one thing that happens a lot in October is that you get a lot of October kind of themed foods.
Pumpkin stuff.
So we wanted to go through all of the different kinds of foods that we've had and pick out our favorites and kind of have a nice review of some of the delicious things that we've had this month. So Wendy, what is actually your favorite?
You're gonna have to go first because I skipped this one on my paper, so I don't know. So while you talk about it, I'm gonna think.
Okay. Well, my favorite October thing that we actually just had recently, and we went to Denny's, and they have all of their October themed pancakes, and I'm a huge cinnamon and sugar fan. So they have these Cinnabuns, or these they're actually sticky buns. The name of it, Sticky Bun Pancakes. And they were delicious. They were actually kind of more of a dessert, I think, than a breakfast. but I loved them. I thought they were delicious.
So my favorite basic October food / beverage is the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. You guys, for real, it's so and now that they have almond milk, it's so much better, so much better. Yes, I know it's basic, but it's like when I think October, I think pumpkin spice latte.
Even before it came out, you knew the day that they started selling that pumpkin spice latte, and she was telling me, "I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to get it."
Anyways, let's move on to the next topic, which is our favorite Halloween candy. Dustin, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Halloween candy was always tough for me because I had a thing for Kit Kats for a while, and there's such a huge choice to have.
Yeah.
But the one I have to fall back on is one that's actually not in the bag very often, so it's kind of rare to get it if you go out like trick-or-treating. Baby Ruths.
Oh, man. Yeah, those are the good ones because like the fun size are like this big still.
And you normally don't see those, in the big bags.
Yeah.
Normally you get Kit Kat,
You get, like,
Snickers,
2.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
But every now and again, you would get a Baby Ruth.
Yep.
I loved them. So good.
For me, my favorite Halloween candy, and there's a lot, so it was kind of hard for me to pick, but I'm going to go with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
That is a good classic to go with.
And I like putting them in the fridge, so there's a little bit of like cold and like, it's a little hard when I bite into it. It's so good.
Goes in there right with your Thin Mints.
Yeah, I freeze my. Does anybody else do that out there? You put the Thin Mints, the Girl Scout cookies in the freezer. It's so good. Okay, so segue. Since we're talking about Halloween candy, what is your least when you were a kid going trick or treating? What was the least favorite candy that you saw and put in your bucket? And you're just like, what is this crap?
The Almond Joys.
Oh, I like almond joy.
And it was because at the time I really just did not like coconut. Recently,
Yeah.
I've actually grown a taste for it.
Yeah.
And I actually now like coconut. I blame her.
Yeah, it's my
She
fault.
loves
I like
coconut.
coconut.
And then I started eating some of her leftover coconut candy. I'm like, you know what? This isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I just did not like Almond Joys or the other. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
I know the song, but I don't
Whatever,
know the candy. So
I
you
don't
guys, if you know it, put it in the comments below. Oh, you guys are my go-to answer gurus. For me, my least favorite candy, I have two. To get on Halloween, like I probably would just eat them if it was like every other day. But when I see them in my pillowcase or my bucket, I'm like, no, take it back. Tootsie Roll.
Oh my god.
Because you always got so many of them. And then they give you like a handful and they put it. And I was like, great. Now I'm the loser with the Tootsie Rolls. That or Smarties, not the UK chocolate candy Smarties. The one that's like the flash sugar candy that's in like a long wrapper.
Disco Sugar.
Something like that. It doesn't bring me joy. I want chocolatey, or I want like a Jolly Rancher or Airheads or something, but
Now the Tootsie Rolls I actually did like were like the fruit flavored kind. The chocolate one was always kind of, you got so many of
you
those.
just look like poop nuggets.
Little poop nuggets.
All right, so moving on, what is our favorite Halloween memory or moment? Dustin?
And this can be from any time in the past, right?
We're gonna
'Cause we were kinda debating
we're
on
gonna
that.
open it up to Halloween specific.
Okay, then my all-time favorite is when it was my dad and my two brothers. We would go to Knott's Berry Farm. But we wouldn't go to Knott's Scary Farm. We would go when the whole park was Halloween themed out.
Ah, cool.
And my dad would take us out of school. We'd go when there was no one there, and we'd have pretty much the whole park to ourselves.
You would never hear my mom say, I'm going to take you out of school so you can go to a theme park.
But it
That
was-
never happened in the Lee family.
And I remember one time we were sitting on the Calico Ghost Mines, and we were just sitting there and watch. There was this guy that does like the carving on the like your name on wood, and what he did was he had like a little teddy bear that was all butchered and all bloody and gross, and he'd wait for a couple to come by or someone to come by, and he'd let go of the rope, and it would fall really far out of the tree until it came right and stopped right in front of people's faces, and we were just watching him scare people all day.
That's awesome. My favorite Halloween memory is actually not going to like an attraction or haunt. It's actually working at one. And I know some of you out there who know me and they know that I've worked for Horror Nights who think I'm going to say Horror Nights, and I have much love for everybody who works there. But I'm going to recount to my first haunt that I worked at, which is the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride, and I was cast as one of the creepy twins. And what I loved is that, you know, it's a hayride, so you have the tractor pulling the wagon, and celebrities would come by and they would book their own private wagon. So I got to scare various celebrities: Megan Fox, Nathan Fillion, which I almost fainted when I saw him. I couldn't even get my line out. But I think the highlight for me was a wagon came by and there were only 2 people, and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to stalk the both of them. It was Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. You guys, I have never seen such beautiful people. So I creep over to Ryan in my creepy little girl outfit, and I was like, Ryan, come play with us, because, you know, it was the twin thing. And he freaked out, and he kind of crawled away, and he goes, she knows my name! How does she know my name? And in my head, I'm thinking, but you're a celebrity. And I just love how much they were into it. They were having fun. And our final question is our favorite movie in October. Dustin?
We didn't have very many choices on this one. Not very many of them were good.
Not a lot, no.
But there were a couple that stood out, and I have to say my favorite that came out in October was The Accountant.
Me too!
It had good action, good storytelling. The problem sometimes that people had, and I had with it, is that they had a lot of slow moments. Mm-hmm. But since you really loved the characters, you loved finding out about them, they had great chemistry, and I thought this movie was really fun to watch.
I agree. I especially love the scene there was a fight scene between Ben and one of the bad guys, mm-hmm. and the guy had a weapon. Ben didn't, so he took off his belt, and then the guy goes,
that's right.
What the fuck? And I was like, that's the perfect response. Like, you're fighting a guy, you know, with a knife, and then he's gonna take off his belt. You're just like, what are you gonna do with the belt? Well, go see the movie and you'll see what happens. Well, guys, that concludes our favorites for the month of October. Go ahead and let us know in the comment section below what your favorites are. I'll go ahead and list all the questions that we answered in the description box. So go ahead and just copy and paste that if you want to play along and let us know what your October favorites are. So that's it for us for this video. We will see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.